Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. Just to let everybody know, this is not a live show. You're about to watch a pre-recorded show from our history of 6 years of shows, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because me and the team, we're taking a little time off. That's right. We're going away on a sabbatical, ladies and gentlemen. We shall be traveling and touring and trying different foods and researching magic. Or maybe just kicking it in Central Florida, taking it easy, getting in touch with our inner thoughts, our inner dreams, our outer energy, and our outer love. But that's what we're going to be doing. So you guys keep up with this. For the next 2 months, we're taking off. We're relaxing. The team worked really, really hard. We had a great anniversary show, August 11th. Just an absolutely fantastic time. 6 years strong. We're taking a little bit of a break. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you for checking everything out. Be sure to keep in touch and follow the feeds. We may even bebop in there every now and then to say a hi and a quick hello. And we will be back October 18th. It's a Wednesday. That's right. It is a Patreon-only show. That's going to be our first show back for the next season. We're kicking it off, baby. Kicking it off. For as little as $2 a month, you can be a Patreon patron, patreon.com/KitchenKillaz. Spell it all around the room. That's where it is. Keep in touch. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the show. And I bid you a fond and fantastic farewell. Bye. Check in the mic. Start cam. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear and see everything before we even go. What's up, AJ? Good to see you. I hope you guys are having a good day. Let me know if you can hear and see everything. We rely solely on the feedback from you guys to let us know how everything looks and sounds. There's only so much we could do. Happy Monday, all. What's up, Deshea? Great to see you. Hello, hello. And I hope you guys are having a really good day. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And in just a couple minutes, we have our good friend Amber Crowley. She's going to be jumping in here. We're going to be talking about her fantastic. She's got some new music always. She's always rocking, always making it happen. What's up, Ann? Good to see you. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. I'm Amber's friend. Hopefully, we're all Amber's friend, AJ. Who doesn't love Amber? She's like the coolest person. The musician, physician. She's got a couple other shins in there, but we're going to get to it. So thank you guys for joining me. My name is Billy Floyd. This is the KitchenKillaz Show. Every Monday, we wrap it up. Every Wednesday, we do a private Patreon show, and then every Friday, we crash kitchens around the country. You can find us in different kitchens, commercial and residential, streaming live to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We play originals and covers, and in between those songs, we talk about a specific menu of the evening. Sometimes the chef joins us. Sometimes the host provides the food. Sometimes we have it catered. Sometimes we don't know what's going on, but it's always delicious. It's always amazing. It's always incredible. And we try to educate as much as we can. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I hear you, Nathan. Nathan says, we hear you, but your co-host is a bit quiet. Turn their mic up. You got it, man. Hey, listen, Frank, what's going on? This is Frank, everybody. He's a little shy, so we figured I thought it would be best to introduce him to you guys, at least through video. What's up, Odalise? At least through the video. We can introduce him. We can get him comfortable with you guys. I've been working on that microphone, but there might be a short somewhere. But this is Frank. It is almost Frank's day. We're just a couple days away from Frank's day, but we most certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. I got a couple little tiny thank yous to go through, actually big thank yous, but I'm going to go through them quick because we have Dr. Amber Crowley is going to be joining us, a physician, musician, fantastic esthetician, think whatever it is, construction manager, general contractor. We have Amber in the green room right now, and she's hanging out. She's taking it easy. She's living life. And she just finished a 2-hour segment on TikTok, which we're also going to talk about. We're going to go over her schedule. We have 2 videos that she provided us to play for you guys, which I'm super excited. Listen, man, when she says the dancing skeletons make her giggle, you guys are going to giggle too because it's such a beautiful video. It's so fun. And this woman exudes positivity. It's absolutely awesome, incredibly beautiful, and we're really, really happy to have her joining us in just a couple minutes. I do have to thank a couple people. This past week was really busy. We were really fortunate. Friday night, we got to play a private event, which was beautiful, right at Rocco's Tacos. The great Commodore actually did join me for a 3-hour set. We had a wonderful time. If you guys haven't been to Rocco's Tacos on International Drive, really fantastic food. Everything is fresh. Everything is tasty. Everything is delicious. And it was awesome not only to be had been invited, but what a beautiful night it was. Everybody had a great time. 3 hours of beautiful music, which turned into a couple more shows for us. So success, success, success. What's up, Jane? Great to see you, baby. So Jane says, I love Amber. I just came here now from her TikTok live show. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Amber has been such a great supporter of KitchenKillaz for several years now. We've had her on the show a couple times, and vice versa. We really try to support each other through all of our creative endeavors, and she is motivating me little by little, more and more every day to delve into the TikTok realm, and I'm excited. My board came in today. The first one came in. I had to send it back. My board came in today. It's right over there. I'm really excited about it. As soon as this is over, guess what? I get to unbox my board. I'm so excited. It's going to be fantastic. So anyway, a couple pictures to go over. I do want to share these with you. This past Saturday, I had been invited to be a judge at the 11th annual Pig Jig Barbecue Fest competition in Tampa this past weekend. My good friend Voodoo Chef invited me, Eric Youngs, who will actually be in this kitchen on the 11th of November. He's bringing some of his culinary students as well. He contributes a lot to the community over in Tampa. The Voodoo Foundation has contributed thousands and thousands of dollars to students that attend culinary classes and college, and it kind of prepare them for the professional environment that is culinary, restaurant, real stuff. You can learn how to cook, but to learn how to work in a restaurant is completely different. So I was really fortunate. Eric Youngs invited me to be a judge this past Saturday. So there were 65 judges, over 100 competitors, one of the largest barbecue competitions in the state. And I got to give a huge shout out to Eric Youngs for inviting me to do that. And I did have a couple photos I wanted to go over just because incredible. We're talking about some high-tech, incredible barbecue competitors that this is their passion. And this is what this show is all about. The show is not just about music. It's about passion. And if you're passionate and you love what you do, then we love you. You're perfect for us. We want to talk to you. We want to see if we could give a little bit of that cross-pollination of our fan bases and our fans and our friends and our family to create and to build that support throughout whatever it is that you are trying to do. So I have a couple photos I do want to share with you guys, and then we are going to be chatting with Amber in just a couple minutes. So if you're here for Amber, trust me, we're all here for Amber. Give me just a couple minutes and let me get through it. Nathan, also, I told Eric Youngs, you said, what's up? And he said, what's up? I didn't get to talk to Johnny, though, so I got to take that one back. Dana, good to see you. So let me get to this real quick, and I hope you guys are having a really good day. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. So let me do a little screen share. We're going to go pretty quickly through these photos because I just want to kind of show you guys what was happening, baby. Sweet baby Ray. Here we go. Cool. So this was the 11th annual Pig Jig. Yes, that is my Facebook. Don't worry about my chats. I trust you guys. It's totally fine. That's my man Josh Mullis, the Magic Foot. So let's go through it, baby, and see what we had going on. Tampa Pig Jig, 11th annual Tampa Pig Jig. When I say it was big, ladies and gentlemen, this was a huge event. A huge event. This photo, full stage, full people, thousands and thousands of people. I actually had to find this one online because when I tried to even get remotely close to the stage the night of the event, it wasn't even going to happen. By the time we finished, it was well into the dark, but I found this beautiful photo, and it is a really good representation of the scale of this event that happened this past weekend. So if you guys don't know, when you judge a barbecue competition, you receive a lot of different meals and items from all different competitors. We had 4 rounds: wild card, barbecue ribs, then we had pulled pork, and then we had brisket. So they would come up, they would present it to you just like this. This is actually Dahlia presenting this to us. These are these delicious chicken thighs. So she would present it to each of the judges. Each judge would get one. You take a bite. You'd write down your taste, texture, and flavor. And then you would be done because you have so much more food coming. But I tried to do my best to get pictures of everything that we got. I wasn't able to do that. We just got so much food. So these were some of the fantastic ones. This is a one bite. That is macaroni and cheese with pork belly on the top of that and a sliced and slow smoked grilled jalapeno. Get out of here. Absolutely fantastic, man. Really, really, really killed it. And I hope you guys enjoy this type of culinary art because it really is art. Some of the ribs that we saw, incredible. We got a lot. We got 4 or 5 rounds of these. So again, they would present it to you. You'd write down your presentation. You'd take one rib, just one, and then you would let the other judges take one. 4 judges at each table. You take a bite for taste, take a bite for texture, and you're done. Trust me, it was very, very hard to push away some of this food, even knowing we had so much more food coming because I was taught never waste food. Never let food that comes to you not be consumed, not be eaten, because somebody worked hard and they paid to make it happen and you need to appreciate it. So I kind of went against my DNA day to push all this beautiful, delicious food away. But I need my first responsibility was to be a judge, and I tried to do the best job I could. Some of the presentation was awesome, absolutely fantastic, and sometimes you would see little tiny things. So, for example, this is competitor 52, and they got a little flower in the bottom left-hand corner. Look how sweet is that? 78, no flowers, more ribs. I love 78. It's fantastic. Competitor 29, again, lots of ribs that day. This was round number 2. So we had wild card, and then we had round number 2, which were ribs. We moved on to round number 3, which is pulled pork. Some of the presentation was interesting. They chose to put everything in the small ramekins. Single-serve small ramekins presentation, not bad at all. Some competitors just put a bunch of pulled pork right in it, and the presentation was not really there. So if you ever have an opportunity to judge for a barbecue competition, I definitely recommend that you take it. And sometimes they even sweeten the deal a little bit. This was a pulled pork round, but they gave us some of those delicious medallions. And let me tell you, you talk about competitive barbecue, this is their passion. This is what they do. This is where their heart lies. So we're literally enjoying the fruits of the labor of these passionate creators that are competing with some of the best barbecue pitmasters around, which was awesome. Pulled pork, oh, that's right. We had some slices of lemon. It was delicious. They sweeten the deal every now and then. There's some more of those medallions with that pulled pork. Moving on, brisket, baby. Now, let me tell you, the brisket went fast, and it was fantastic. Absolutely delicious. If you guys are barbecue fans, or you're fans of anything like this, find yourself in an event like this. It's going to be awesome. You're not going to be disappointed. The food is out of this world. Somebody came up to me a little bit after, and they said, was there any that was bad? No, there wasn't. Everything was good, and then there was great, and then there was, oh my God. It was awesome. We had such a good time. Tampa Pig Jig 11th Annual was so freaking cool. We had such a great time. I was so excited to be invited, and I got invited back next year as well. Eric Young had asked me immediately if I would be down to be a judge again, and absolutely. Anything Eric does, I'm 100% down for, because he's just such an awesome dude, and anything that he does, he's super positive, he's super motivational, he supports his community, and I really love that the Voodoo Foundation gives back, and it teaches young kids, young adults, and adults how to get into the culinary arts and truly appreciate the passion of creativity. Speaking of creativity, let's get to it. We had a pretty good wrap up. That's the wrap up. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is not about the wrap up. It's not about the barbecue, even though the barbecue is great. Eric, I love you. Boom, 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 boom. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the one, the only. That's right. There is one. There is only one. We found the other ones, and they're not the other ones anymore. They've legally changed their name, because there is only one Amber Crowley. And we're going to chat with her right now.
Hi.
Hi, Amber Crowley. How are you?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. You look beautiful as always.
I'm so happy to be here.
I loved your TikTok. It was great. You were crushing it. I love the interaction. Everybody seems to be so interactive with you. The community and the comments, your moderators, everybody that's in there. What a great idea. What a fun show. And again, I recognize that. I recognize that dress you've got on. That's right. I think we have a video with that dress on. We're going to be playing in just a couple minutes, which I'm excited about.
Halloween going on here. Getting in the spirit.
Oh yeah, how was your TikTok show?
Oh, it was great. We had some really great people on and good vibes. You know, it's a different kind of a platform. You know, we get people of all ages from all backgrounds, and so you really need the moderators on there. I have 5 or 6 moderators that are on. It's such a good vibe group, and lots of new people and coming on, and it's really helping my music reach more listeners, and that's the whole goal of it for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like you picked up quite the momentum on TikTok, which is really awesome. You were telling me just a couple weeks ago. It was like a Saturday night. You found yourself in front of a pretty big audience. Would you be willing to talk about that a little bit? Like, how did that affect you? How'd you feel about having such a big crowd?
Well, you know, I love that the numbers are going so high. I mean, we had in a 2-hour period close to 9,000 people that were watching in 2 hours. So that's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. And so the comments come up so quickly in the feed, and I like to keep the intimacy of the show. So I'm hoping that as we grow and as the show gets more popular and bigger, that, you know, I can still keep that intimacy and greeting people and answering people's questions and taking their requests. And that's why the moderators on TikTok are so essential. Really make sure that everybody feels welcome and recognized, and you know, all the requests are taken. But I'm very grateful for it. But, you know, very, very grateful.
Yeah, well, like you said a little earlier, it takes a team. It takes a team of people to be able to do that. And you have those comments coming in so quickly. You have those requests coming in so quickly. And when you're in it, when you're playing the music, when you're in it to win it, and you're keeping that vibe and you're keeping that environment, I feel like you don't always have the ability to truly give yourself to the music and then also give full attention to the comments. So if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, Amber, would you play this? Hey, Amber, would you play this?" Like, I would imagine part of that moderator's team's kind of responsibilities to make sure that you do get that information. And without those moderators, you're going to miss those comments, you're going to miss those suggestions, you're going to miss those requests, and you might miss some of the troublemakers too.
Yeah. So, and I'm very excited about my new album coming out in a couple weeks. So I know we had talked about that. And Ghost Rock, the video that we're going to be seeing in a little while. I had so much fun making that with Bruce McLean. He plays his electric guitar on that, and we've got the dancing skeletons. And the hardest thing about making that video, because I do all the videos. I don't have anybody, a videographer or a team working on my videos, so I had to get the music timed up with the dancing skeletons, and that was probably the hardest part of making it.
I think I've watched that video. I would say, shameless plug, I think I've watched that video probably a dozen times. When you first sent it to me, I was like, cool, let me get it onto StreamYard, let me upload it, let me check it out, make sure it looks good, frame rates, and everything looks great. So I watched it, and I was like, man, those dancing skeletons get you. I'm going to watch it again. So I watched it again, and my friend Michelle came over. I'm like, yo, Michelle, check this out. The Commodore came over a little bit ago. I'm like, yo, Commodore, check this out. I'm like, this is so cool. And I really love the fact that, especially with this, and we kind of started it with Dana Ricker, because you've been on the show a couple times, Amber. Thank you so much for coming back. We've had Dana on the show a couple. Yeah, we've had Dana on the show a couple times, and we came up with the idea, especially with Dana, because you never know. We're slaves to technology, and we wanted to make sure the audio was clean. So I reached out to Dana. Dana sent us a couple of videos. I said, well, that was really great, and I think we capitalized on that here, where you were like, hey, I'm going to send you some videos. I think that's the best way to do it. We don't have to. We can take that variable of the music and the technology and the streaming and the latency of the guitars and the vocals and all that stuff out, and we have beautiful videos to play. But we have two of them. We also have a new album coming out, and I wanted to talk about your schedule a little bit before we jumped into your schedule, because I got that pulled up too. You're a busy young lady, Amber, and I have mad respect for that. So I wanted to play one of these videos first. We can play whichever one you would like to play first. We can do that.
Ghost Rock.
You guys, let's do some Ghost Rock. I'm down for some Ghost Rock. You guys ready to dance with the skeletons? Here we go, kids. I hope you enjoy. This is Ghost Rock by Amber Crowley.
The witches love Ghost Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh, let's start from the beginning. There we go.
I watched it like 1,000 times.
Strolling down the street on Halloween, hear the beat of the graveyard scene. See witches and goblins from other lands groove into the tunes of the Ghost Rock band. It's Ghost Rock. The witches love Ghost Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goblins hopping down on the block to the sound waves of Ghost Rock. Walking down the block one October day, off in the distance I hear music play. The sound grew clearer as I drew near. What's that cool new tune I hear? It's Ghost Rock. The witches love Ghost Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goblins hopping down on the block to the sound waves of Ghost Rock. The graveyard band is swinging the place. Frankenstein plays a shocking bass. Elvis on guitar, skeleton on keys. It's a rockin' party on Halloween. It's Ghost Rock. The witches love Ghost Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goblins hobbling down on the block to the sound waves of Ghost Rock. It's Ghost Rock. The witches love Ghost Rock. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goblins hobbling down on the block to the sound waves of Ghost Rock. It's ghost rock. It's ghost rock.
You get right out of here, Amber. That was so awesome. I love that. That was so pretty. So we talked
Bruce
a little bit.
Bruce McLean is so talented on electric guitar. He's a legend. He really is.
It was perfect. It really was beautiful. And you and I talked a couple weeks ago, and you said that especially for Halloween, you said, I'm working on something new. I didn't want to play like the typical Halloween songs. I really wanted to put something out there. So talk a little bit about this song specifically. What was the inspiration? Where'd that come from? And how did you kind of see this song start to build in your mind, and then you brought it to life?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I every Halloween we think about what songs we can play for the holiday. And thank you, Lynn. We think of what song we can play, and you get the Monster Mash, and you've got there's only really a handful of Halloween songs, and a lot of them are really old, which I noticed when I played with my band. So I took kind of the music of surf rock, and I did a parody of surf rock, and that's how I did Ghost Rock. I just last Halloween, I really wanted to come up with a new song for Halloween, and something that was upbeat. It was also important to me that is family friendly and not too scary. Most of my lyrics, as you know, are very family friendly, but especially around Halloween, a lot of the younger kids, you can get too scary about things, and so I wanted it to be something that families could share, and that it'd be a fun, upbeat Halloween party song, and so I hope that that's what it's done.
That's exactly what it did. I think my favorite part of the video is when you were actually walking through the woods. Like, that was probably my favorite part. It was just the cutest part of the whole video, and I probably watched it a couple times, and every time I see that, I just get this feeling of joy in my heart, because you are just so happy. You're having such a good time. You're just singing your heart out. And like you said, I think you created something that was family friendly. Everybody could listen to. It's not scary. It's fun. It kind of has that bebop kind of feel to it. It makes people want to move and dance and stuff like that. And you're right. A lot of the Halloween songs are old. We're all familiar with them. So I think you knocked this one out of the park, Amber. How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's gotten really good reception on YouTube. We've already have a couple, I think over 1,000 hits on that and lots of great comments from people. And it's made people smile, which I like. And I've had it requested every show I've done recently. I've had it requested at least once. Today it was requested twice, so I apologize to anybody that was watching my show that watched it twice. But that had it twice played. But it's a good upbeat song, and it makes me feel good. And it's an easy song to play. So I put the chords up on. Underneath the post in the description on YouTube, the chords are there. So anybody that wants to use the song, for their Halloween party, they want to play it on the guitar. The lyrics are in the video, and then it's got the chords there, easy to play. So
yeah, you make it super easy, and I love how you're rocking that 12 string. You added that 12 string to your arsenal not too long ago, and I don't think I've seen a video with you without it. So how has that kind of changed the game for you?
If you could see my fingers.
Yeah. Well, you're pushing down twice the number of strings. So now it's not just 6 strings. Now you're pushing down 2 strings with every push that you're used to 1 string. But I mean, and I think you've been using that 12 string for over 6 months now. I think like we talk sometimes and time flies. But how's that been for you?
Billy, I fell in love with that guitar, and you know how it is to love a guitar. I know you do. And I know Dana, you know how it is too. And anybody else out there that loves music, you get a certain guitar that I think every instrument has a certain character and spirit to it. And this guitar, a friend of mine found this guitar for me. He collects guitars, and he found it out in the West Coast and outside of San Francisco. And he had it shipped to me. I had never played it before I got it. And I got the guitar and I played it. I took a chance because I trusted him and his judgment. And I haven't gone back to my 6 string. I just love it so much. It's the resonance and the tone. And yeah,
Yeah, I think it kind of fills it out. It gives the highs and the lows. It covers that mid frequency, and I think it balances perfectly with your voice. The way you sing it, you guys complement each other. And I say you guys as the guitar is an entity because it kind of is. You know, you and the guitar complement each other really, really, really well. And I've seen it. And looking at you and listening to your music when you were playing 6-string compared to you playing with the 12-string, you can hear a vast difference in the frequency and the level and the color that not only the guitar provides, but the guitar and your vocals together provide. And it's interesting that you have not gone back to the 6-string, but you're still playing some piano, I see.
Yes, I have only been playing the piano for a little over 2 years. As many people that listen to me, and I'm going to big hug to everybody out there that tuned in. I really appreciate you tuning in, and great to see you. And I appreciate your love and support so much. And so it was that love and support of my fans and my family also that gave me kind of the little push to get out there and learn the keys, first learn them, and then perform them, which, you know, for me, you know, there's people that are so good on the keyboard, and I'm not one of them. I've only been playing for a short amount of time, and but I took an online course, and I'm still learning, and I still try to challenge myself. But I've been at the beginning of the pandemic. I started to play the keyboard, and it did open up a whole new world for me in terms of songwriting. Now I go to the keyboard first to write a song, not the guitar. And also all the different sounds you can get with the keyboard for recording. This new album has got steel drum on it that is generated by the computer, on the keyboard, and it's got strings and all different sounds. So it's opened up a whole new world. I'm grateful.
What made you find more comfort in going to the keyboard first to write than going to the guitar, which I imagine you've gone to the guitar pretty much your whole life to write, but that catalyst happened. How did you find yourself at the keyboard?
I can't even explain it. And and people had told me that would happen, that there's something about the keyboard that just lends itself to songwriting. And you can find the key and you can find the notes so much easier when they're just right in front of you there, I think. And and you can write as you're playing, you know, you can then write, whereas the guitar, I guess you can do the same thing with the guitar, but it just lends itself to songwriting. And then if you have a different vibe of a song, like let's see some of the Celtic songs where I've used the Celtic harp sound of the keyboard, then I can go to that keyboard and I can play that Celtic harp sound, and it kind of brings the song more to life when I'm playing that different sound on the keyboard, and it adds some texture to the song. And I've even done things like added like a little music box sound to some of them.
That's awesome. And you said earlier, and it kind of makes sense, because when you're looking at the keys, you're looking at them, and guitar, you're not. You know, guitar, you're here, your fretboard's here, you're kind of playing here, but with the keys, it's right in front of you. So it's much easier to, I would say, see what you're doing and see what you're playing at exactly the same time. Just your perception's a little different. Might be easier to kind of connect the two. And also, the Commodore was playing a little piano earlier. We have an event coming up Saturday, and we're playing some John Legend, some All of Me, and he's brilliant on the piano. So it's interesting to see that and to see how those two connect to each other. Then to hear you come on and say exactly the same thing. And the great Commodore's been playing keyboard and piano for a really, really long time. So it's awesome to sit down and watch him, because it's like magic to me. You know, I've played a little bit of keyboard, enough to be dangerous, but not enough to take it to a performance level. But there absolutely has to be a connection where you can actually physically see what you're doing, what you can create, finding the key, finding the notes, creating the structure. And usually on guitar, that can be a little challenging to kind of find everything. But when you have everything laid out in front of you, like you said, a couple of people told you that might happen, and here we are. It did happen. You go to the keyboard first. So you've added the 12 string to your arsenal. You've added the keyboard to your arsenal. And with the keyboard, like you said, you've added all this other stuff: steel drums, music box, all the different synthesized notes, and all the sounds and everything that the keyboard can emanate, to also add to that kind of feel and emotion that you're going through with that song.
Yeah, it's been with recording, I don't know if anybody watched the video with Bruce McLean where he's explaining about the tracks. That was one of the recent videos I put about behind the scenes, but if you get a chance to look at that, but it shows on the screen the different tracks Bruce is pointing out, and each track has a different sound. Like they would be a strings track and then a keyboard track. Well, the strings is generated from the keyboard, and that's me playing the strings on the keyboard. And then the steel drum track would be me playing the steel drum on the keyboard. So it adds, a lot of texture that you can't get, if you're not in Hollywood and have a whole slew of studio musicians to work with. I'm a one woman operation, so I like to try to put as much as I can into the song in terms of tracks that fit. And so that was really fun with Bruce working on that. I don't know if anybody had any questions about that I can answer for them. I don't know. I haven't really been following. If anybody has questions for me, please let me know.
Well, you kind of been busy, and to chat about that real quick, because you're one of the busiest ladies I know, especially when it comes to your music, and I love how you continuously try to evolve. You check the new platforms, you're working with new teammates, you're bringing in new people, new tech, new instrumentation, new everything, which is really good because, and you also stick to your roots, which is so admirable. So you stick to your roots, but you're continuously evolving and growing at the same time, building a great platform, and above all of that, just sharing love and positivity with everybody that is receptive to it. I would say. So I think that's kind of, when I think about Amber Crowley, I think about just like peace and love immediately, and just a lot of positivity and a lot of motivation and a lot of like, you can do it too. And you're so encouraging, and thank you for encouraging me, which is really, really great. You definitely little a match under my butt and got me moving on the TikTok goal, which is great. So I've taken all your advice. The first board that I got, I had to send back. I got the new one today. Something was going on with it. It was funky. I was like, no big deal. That one comes back. The new one comes in. And I've used Pro Tools and Logic in the past. I've done some music production, and Pro Tools is actually far more I would say attainable now. It used to be $1,000 to get Pro Tools, but now it's not. It's $99. And I'm like, man, $99, and I don't need too much crazy stuff. So when you talk about that multi-layer, that multi-track recording, kind of blending all in, bringing all that new instrumentation in, it definitely lends that creativity to bring the feeling of that whole song up and kind of tweak on those little heartstrings to make it a fully emotional experience, to make all that happen. And it's all affordable today. You can do it in your own home with a couple of friends.
And yeah, and what we were saying when we talked before about TikTok is I had reservations about going to that platform. I had reservations about it, and there were a couple of people that really encouraged me to go on. Lisa Baker was one of them right at the beginning, who said, you got to go on TikTok. And also Stephen Stay, Grandpa Rock, said, with your good vibes, you were going to bring that to young people, and that's what people need. And so there is negativity on TikTok. I mean, there definitely is, and there you have to kind of, when you first go on the platform, teach the platform that you don't want to see, some of that, and or any of that if it's negative. And so after a week or so of saying what you don't want to see and what you do want to see, it teaches the algorithm, so you don't end up getting things in your feed that you don't want. So that's a good thing. And I do think that young folks, that they need good vibes. That's what Grandpa Rock said. And if they don't have something positive, they don't have an alternative. All they can do is, tune into the negative part of it. So what I'm trying to do is offer a positive alternative for people there on TikTok. So if you want to, be surrounded and by a loving group of, listeners, who we've got a really good group of good vibe folks that are on there now, that, people can go there and have it be a safe place where kids can feel like and all ages can feel welcome.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. If you don't put the positivity out there, they're not going to have anything to connect to. And it's kind of like the news. I remember just and I don't really watch the news anymore because it's negative story. One good story and a sea of negative stories. And when you go on any type of social media platform, you kind of run into the same thing. It's just negative. But every now and then there's a glimmer of hope. There's a diamond into the rough. That is Amber Crowley, which is awesome. So I'm going to bring up your schedule real fast. I do want to share this. with everybody, and I'd like to talk about it because you are busy, and I want to see, chat a little bit about that, talk a little bit about your schedule and how you have kind of put everything together to make this all happen for you. So you're busy Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. TikTok Live, Monday, 5 to 7 TikTok, Tuesday. Now, this is just this week because I think you travel, but Tuesday, I think you still have a Facebook show, Thursday, 3 to 5 TikTok, Friday, 5 to 7 TikTok, Amber Crowley Originals. And one of the things we talked about was consistency, not missing that time. If you say you're going to play for 2 hours, you play for 2 hours. People are going to tune in. You're going to have people that are encouraged, that are motivated by you. So let's chat a little bit about the schedule. How do you feel looking at the schedule? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you could do a little more? Do you feel satisfied with this? Do you love how it's evolving and growing? How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel really good about it and very grateful for the platform. The Tuesday, usually I do 5 to 6 on, or 6 or 6:30 on Facebook, and then heading over to TikTok from there. I was recruited by, as we talked about, by a TikTok talent agency. And so that's kind of why a lot of my energy is going into TikTok right now, because they're actually working with me and helping to giving me pointers and helping me to develop as an artist as well. So I was very honored that they chose me, out of people from the USA to work with them. And so that's what I'm doing, and I'm working with them. And they just, they're behind the scenes. They're not on the show with me. But I have learned, and I'm in the process of learning. I hope that I can keep one day on Wednesday to just write, because one of my fears as I get busier, and I know Dana probably feels this way, and you do as well, is that when you get busier with playing live, whether it's doing live gigs or doing real in person or live stream, you don't want to neglect the creative aspect of it. And the songwriting is my passion. I love, love, love to write songs, and I love to write songs and the lyrics and the music and to share them. So I'm keeping Wednesdays right now, and also Saturdays, as part of days where I can work on my original content and really, dedicate that time to the original content, because, I want to continue to be producing new songs.
Yeah, and I think you brought up something really really good. I played in a band called Smile and McGee a long time ago, and we were so busy as a band, I didn't have time to write. I didn't have time to create new music. I didn't have time to practice. And right now I'm playing 3 to 4 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays. So what I decided to do was Tuesdays and Thursdays are my writing days, and Wednesday I relax a little bit, and I just kind of jam, and I just have fun playing music. I listen to different covers, and I play different music, and I have an application called Chordify that I found, which is really cool. So put you can pretty much put any YouTube video you want in there. You could just search for it, and it will automatically show you the chords and the tabs. You can change the key, the instrumentation. You can change where the capo is located. It's really, really cool. And what I found that I was doing, I was getting so busy with all the shows and all the performing, I didn't have time to write. I still have a 9 to or an 8 to 5 job. So 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, shows on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This past week we had 4 shows, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So it was I found that, man, I'm kind of getting burnt out, and I don't have time to write. I don't have time to do anything, and I absolutely have to get that back, because I love performing, don't get me wrong, but I think you and I are on the same page here. My therapy, my heart, my passion is in the writing and the creating and the lyrics and the storytelling. Like playing for myself is almost as therapeutic as it is playing for a crowd. The essence of the crowd is the fact that you get to inspire them as well. You get to encourage them, give them hope. You can show them the light. You can help them a little bit, And
I got to say. And I got to say also that my fans, who I love you all so much, and I feel like the people that have been, and some people have been following me for years now, since I've started live streaming, and it's the fans that keep me motivated to writing new songs, because I know that I'm going to be able to share them with the fans. So the fans help me so much, the listeners and fans and friends and family as well, because one, they motivate me to keep writing, because I know I have people to share the music with, and who will appreciate it and really listen to the lyrics and really listen to the music. And two, it's a litmus for what songs are gonna really take off and which ones won't. I can tell when I play a new song for people, their reaction from in the live stream whether this song is going to take or not, and so I'm surprised.
Yeah, sometimes you actually hit the nail on the head. There were sometimes that I'll put an album out and I think this is going to be the single. This is going to be the single. Then you put it out and you start to see the reaction. You're like, wow, I thought this and this was going to rock. And people love those songs. But these two, which I did not think that those were going to be the ones that caught, those are the one that caught. And I'm a little surprised by that, but okay, because I love that response. And you're absolutely right. It is a great litmus test. You know, it really is to see how they respond, how they're responding, because we can tell the story ourselves and we know what it's about, but we have no idea how it's being interpreted by all the different people, everybody.
So much.
Oh,
I
yeah,
really appreciate that so much.
Yeah,
really
that feedback is vital, especially in the realm of performing for people and performing for a crowd. And, you know, it almost becomes part of a family where it's like you said, you've had people that have been following you for years. And they're like, what do you have coming out next? What album do you have coming out next? Amber, I really love this song. Like, have you heard this song, or have you thought about writing about this, or this song really touched me this way, or it motivated me to have a conversation with a friend that I haven't talked to in a long time. And, you know, really helping me here. And I think that's part of that positive therapy that, you know, if you just put it out into the world will figure out what to do with it. And you just keep putting it out there, keep putting it out there, and keep putting it out there. And then you'll see I would say not so much as a business term, but that return on your investment. You put it out there, then it starts coming back and people are like, man, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Which then in turn motivates you to keep writing, motivates you to keep creating. And it seems like you are creating. You have one heck of a schedule. You are a very, very busy young lady. You are writing. You got new music and a new album. Talk a little bit about this new album you have coming out.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm super excited about it. I've been recording every week with Bruce, since the end of May. So we actually have two albums. One's going to be coming out, Key of Kindness, on November 5th, and the second album we're going to put out in February. So that'll be like those songs are already done, but those are going to come. We're kind of spacing them out in that way. And it's just there's a very wide variety of music on there. There's some music that has got the steel drums and, you know, kind of a tropical soft rock feel. And then there's a Celtic song that's on there as well. There's some blues with the harmonica, added that as well. And so we did a mixture of songs that I think is going to give a nice variety to the songs. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say just kind of following you, because we've been friends for a couple of years now, and kind of following you and putting out the different types of songs that you've put out. Sometimes it's hard to I'd say to change up the style and the feel, because you're Amber Crowley. You sing a certain way. You play guitar a certain way. To define those differentiations in the songs, to be able to create that, you know, that kind of separation where, okay, this song, it is Amber, but it also has a different vibe. It has a different feeling to it. I'm not listening to the first song, and the second song sounds just like the first song, and the third sounds just like the second song. You know, working with good producers and other musicians, other instrumentation, and continuing to grow like you're doing, adding on the 12 string, adding on the piano, working with different producers, working with the team from TikTok that is giving you these little tips and these little pointers on how to gauge this, how to move this. It's almost like you're molding this beautiful rocket ship of love that's flying through space, you know, and it's really, really cool to see you continue to do that. So aside from this album, what else can we look forward to? What else do you have in the hopper that you wouldn't mind sharing with us, Amber?
Oh, sure. Well, Ghost Rock just came out, and then for Thanksgiving, so that's a Halloween song. For Thanksgiving, there's a song that I wrote called Just One Letter, and it's about my overall message, you know, is gratitude in the song. And so that's a song for Thanksgiving, and it's about changing the word I've got to I get to. And it's only one letter that you're changing in the got to, get to. So I've got to make dinner. Yeah, I've got to make dinner, but you know what? I get to make dinner. I have money to buy food. I have an oven to cook it in. I have a family to share it with. So I get to, so I try to, that has worked for me to try to get a hold of gratitude by changing that. I've got to I've get to. And so that's why I wrote the song called Just One Letter. It's called One Letter. It's just about, it's a very upbeat, almost like a country rock song with harmonica on it. And I like the way it came out. I came out better than I thought it was going to be. It's very much danceable and very upbeat. So that's going to come out for Thanksgiving. And then I have a Christmas song coming out that it is I wrote on the way home from a family gathering last year in Florida, and it is about memories of the it's every song holds a memory. So it's all about how those Christmas carols that we all love so much, the Silent Night and Oh Holy Night, that they hold so many memories for us because of the people that we shared them with and the people that sang with us, and some of those people are gone. And so I sing that about how we come together at the holidays with this holiday music, and the spirits of people from the past will sing with us as well. So that's what that one is about.
Man, you got a lot of music coming up. Now, you sent me a video of another song called Spirits Fly. And before we play that video, because I've watched that a couple times too, would you mind talking a little bit about that one? What was the inspirado there for that lovely song?
And I will have to say, I want to dedicate that to Anne because I know that she really loves that song. She's followed me for so many years. I really appreciate it. So Spirits Fly, I used to do play live for hospice before COVID came along. I did a lot of work going in and singing at the bedside for people that were dying and their families, and volunteering, doing that kind of effort. And I've done that for many years. And so what happened on this morning is that I was in hospice, and I was part of someone who there when one of the people that they were planning to let them die with dignity, and that's what happened. And so on the way home after this happened, and I was there singing for the family and singing for the person, I saw the wind blowing very, very, just the wind was just swirling around. And I really had the feeling of what it feels like for the spirits to have been departed, and feeling them there, And so that's why I wrote Spirits Fly.
Man, I love that, and I love your visual representation of it as well. I've always kind of had, afterlife is always a lovely conversation to have. People can have a nice, calm conversation about afterlife, and I always kind of fall back on energy is neither created nor destroyed; it's only transferred. And I've thought about spirit and consciousness and the element and the spark that is ourselves, inside of this beautiful machine that we get to operate on a daily basis. But I really like what you said about as you felt that wind and you saw that gush, you're thinking, man, there it is. Like this beautiful spirit gets to then elevate. They say death is only the beginning. So this beautiful spirit gets to elevate and utilize this vehicle that is this beautiful wind to fly to its next destination, its next game, its next entrance, its next life. And I think you did a great job of capturing that in this song as well. Jane comes right in and says it's a lovely song, absolutely beautiful. Dana Ricker, a great one. That's so true. Some songs come with a bucket full of memories, absolutely straight to the heart.
Yes, and Bruce had a very good idea when we were recording this song about how to do those harmonies. They're kind of it's almost like a psychedelic 60s type of harmony that he had the idea of what he wanted me to do, and he said, why don't you try this? And so he really helped in that way. And Anne said, Spirits Fly touched my heart and depths of my soul. Thank you, Anne. It's a powerful song, and when I sing this song still, I've played it so many times, but I feel myself almost being transported off the ground, and I have to come back down to the ground after I finish the song. Sometimes it's hard to go into another song after this song because it's such a powerful song. I need to kind of take a moment, and come back down to earth after singing it. So I'm grateful for the song. I feel the songs come through me, and this was one that came through me at a moment, and it was just there. And I came home after hearing the wind and just wrote the song. It just came through me. So I'm very grateful for that.
That seems to be something, and we've had some other musicians that have joined us before for interviews, and I think one of the continuing ideas is that all songs are. A friend of mine told me this 2 decades ago. All songs are already written, and the gods of rock decide who to give them to. And there's sometimes that they're like, Billy, how'd you write that song? I'm like, I couldn't even tell you, man. Like, I sat down, and the next thing you know, it was kind of writing itself. And all I did was try to capture it. I just tried to capture it. It was coming to me, and write it all down. And hopefully I got it all, and put it into a song. And then you mold it, and you work with it a little bit, and you listen to this, and you work on this ups and this downs, and let's see if we can bring this. And you just listen to the emotion, and you kind of let the song write itself. And we're just kind of like a person in the car of this vehicle of this song being written, and we're just trying to give these little tiny lefts and rights to make sure we can get to our destination appropriately.
You can I totally agree, and then that takes the ego out of it, because it's not you, it's almost like your children. I know, women who have had children, maybe you can relate to this, is that the child comes through you, but it's not yours. You don't own the child. And so the song is like the child coming through you in a way, but they're not yours. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about these songs. They're not really, they're not mine. They come through me, and yes, I perform them, but there's a higher power and a bigger spirit out there, generating these songs. So.
Yeah, and that was a really great thing that you said, like the child comes through you. It's not really yours. It's like the song comes through us. It's not really ours. And as you raise a child, you just kind of give those little tiny guidance, those little tiny nudges, those little, okay, let me help here and let me help here, but let me back up a little bit. You got this. It's like when you're helping somebody ride a bike, and at that moment you just kind of let go because they got it. And if you can help them get to that level, then it's all them. They're 100% powering it. So if we can channel that energy properly, and we can let it flow through us, we can let that creativity flow through us. Ultimately, the song is its own entity, and we were just so grateful to be the one to bring it to fruition and release it to the universe. And then hopefully, it has the impact that it was intended to. So I know you and I can talk about this at length, but let's go ahead and play Spirits Fly, a beautiful video. Thank you so much, Amber, for joining us. This is so much fun. We're having such a good time. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Matthew Pfeiffer, we are still live. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, by Amber Crowley, this is called Spirits Fly, and this is for you.
Spirits fly.
Spirits rise high unto the night.
Fantastic, man. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful song. Dana had a question I want to put up here, and I want to read for you guys. Dana says, I have a question. As a doctor, how hard has it been at times for you to embrace a person that is passing and that is beyond anything you have control of? I'm sorry if this is too heavy.
Oh, no, it's not too heavy at all. I mean, that's what I did for a living, for 20 years. I lost patients all the time. And sometimes it was suddenly, as in a trauma, a car accident, something like that. And sometimes it would people that, knew that they were dying, and we tried to let them die with dignity. So there's kind of a, two, baskets that I kind of fell into, in terms of how, one of the things that was the hardest things is not so much, it is hard to for the person that's passing, but it's the hardest thing is breaking the news to parents or family members, and that was my role as an ER doctor for many, many years, is breaking the news to people. And so to learn how to do that, to break news kindly and in a fashion that is going to be empathetic and supportive to the family was something that I really, that was, I think, one of the most important things going on. Also, the other important thing was to make sure that I had support for myself in terms of my own mental health, because we saw some people dying that, children, things like that, and some violence that was not, it was difficult to see. And I won't go into the details, but let's just suffice it to say, in the ER, you see the some of the worst things that you can see. And so there are many things that have happened. So what I would do for my own self is, when I lost a patient, is I would call my husband up, and he would know exactly what to say. Now, because it happened, fairly regularly in the ER, you're going to, that's part of the job. But I would call him up and I would say, hey, I really feel bad for this family. This patient died suddenly. I did everything I could do, but it was beyond what we could do to save the person. And then he would always know the right thing to say. My husband would say, you did the best you can. It's all of this, that, just take a deep breath, come home, and we'll, after your shift, and, we'll talk more about it. And so it was always good to have someone who understood. Although he is not in the medical profession, he knew, after 20 years of my work in medicine, he knew what to say at that time. And I think everyone needs that support person. Anybody who works with dying patients and losing patients, and you need that support person for your own mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dana, that's a really good question. And I'm glad that you, at the tail end of that, Amber, because my follow-up question was going to be the energy that you share, that you said to be empathetic, to be caring, to be loving, to kind of provide that information to a family in such a hard time that is going to elementally change the way that their entire life moves forward forever. And you have to be very delicate with that. My question was going to be, how do you then turn around and manage that in your own soul, in your own heart, in your own mind? How do you how are you able to temper that and say, okay, let me accept what is, I understand what happened, I'm doing the best that I can, and then turn around and do it tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And I really like what you said. A huge shout out to your husband for being there, for knowing what to say, knowing how to support, knowing how to encourage, and especially saying, come home at the end of your shift, we'll relax, we'll talk about it. And sometimes you don't need to talk about it. Sometimes it's nice to just have somebody to be there, to just be there and sit with you, and I think that's a really good question, Dana. And Dana, I always imagine that we welcome questions like that. As difficult as it is to talk about these type of interviews and these type of conversations, it's an open platform to ask whatever questions to a degree that you have. Amber and I are pretty good at tempering our responses to make sure that we keep the level, on a nice light level. But when we talk about music, especially music that touches the heart and touches the soul, sometimes you are going to get down into the elements of the universe that really kind of motivate our emotions and emanate the happiness and the sadness at the same time. You can't be naive to the sadness and pretend it doesn't exist, because that's when it creeps up on you. So I think it's a good balance.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that people ask me, well, how can you be smiling and looking like you're so happy? Well, you know what? Because I've seen the other side of life, and I've seen the people that have not been able to be alive today. And I've been around so much hardship and even people dying, that I feel like it's such a gift to be alive. It is such a gift, and I am so grateful for it. I'm going to be turning 65 on November 5th. Okay, 65. And so people say, oh my God, 65, you're that old. But yeah, what I am is I'm grateful because I'm on this side of on the upside of the ground, I'm on the upside of the ground, and I'm so grateful for that. And just grateful for my health and, my being able to be well enough to play music and have the gift of song, and my family and friends and all the fans that are out there listening and supporting me. And so I'm just really resonating on gratitude with it. I absolutely am.
Oh, yeah. And I will say this. Before we go, I did want to put one other question up. Jane Elfgren asked a great question. She said, when you meet people today as a singer, song composer you are, how hard is it to not fall into the doctor character again?
Question. Well, I'll tell you, Jane, the reason, a little bit about my story, and maybe you already know, is I was 19 years old and a single parent mother to, as a teenager, basically. We were very, very poor. And so I worked as a hospital volunteer, medical assistant washing floors, nurse for 10 years, and then went into becoming a doctor. I didn't go into medicine right in this traditional path. So I don't see myself the same way as a lot of other physicians do. Many physicians have followed the pathway where they've gone to college, medical school, their parents were doctors, they really didn't do anything besides go to school and then go out and to be a doctor. There were so many other things that happened in my life that mold me as a person. A doctor was only one little part of what I did. It's not all of me. And so it was easy in that, if I don't have the white coat on, then, I can separate it for sure. Now, I do get the Jeopardy questions on science and medicine right.
And I think that's some things that some people may not know about you, especially if they were introduced to you as a singer-songwriter and they haven't kind of delved into a little bit, because you do mention it sometimes on your show, but it's not something that you kind of like keep out there in the very top of it, because like your connection to people when they see you on TikTok, when they tune in, and again, we're in a world of immediate stimulation. It's like swipe, 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 swipe. Cool, here's Amber Crowley singing a ghost song. This is really great, absolutely fantastic. Oh, cool. And then a couple days later, awesome, here's Amber Crowley again. She's singing this really pretty song. But a lot of people, I would imagine, they don't know that, they don't have that information. So it's really interesting to see where a lot of your inspiration comes from, your experience comes from. And you said that's only just a little part of it. You did a lot of different things, and all your songs are inspired by not only things that other people have experienced that have shared them with you, but your own personal experiences, going back through different careers, different lives, raising children, having families, losing people, meeting new people, and trying to bring that all and put into a beautiful little package of song and share it with the universe is a gift, man. And the fact that you're able to do that is so awesome, and I think you carry it perfectly. You're such an amazing vessel of positivity, and we're all super, super grateful to have you in our lives.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Jane, for that question. That's a really good question. Thank you. Yeah.
So Amber, thank you so much for joining us. And we've already hit our hour, which was crazy. That was so fast. It went by great. We know you have a busy schedule, and thank you so much. I do want to share this just one more time, because I want you guys to check this out. Sunday from 3 to 5, TikTok Live. You can find her on TikTok. If you guys aren't on TikTok, I get it. It's a young kids platform. Listen, it's an everybody platform, and the algorithm will give you the content that it believes you want by how much time you spend on each individual frame that you watch. So if you watch a lot of frames about live music, guess what you're going to get? more live music. So it is what you make it. It's a pretty solid platform, and especially it's a much, much, much better platform now that Amber Crowley is a part of it. So check it out on TikTok, Amber Crowley, Good Vibes, V-I-B-Z, right at the end. Find her on TikTok. It's free to sign up. Make sure you check her out Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, rocking it. And I think, if I remember correctly, do you have 2 shows on Tuesday? Is that what you're doing now, Amber?
Yes, and I am keeping my commitment to Facebook, and I'm not going to give up the Facebook Tuesday show. I'm going on doing that for 3 years now, and so I'm not going to give that up. And that is a Tiki Tuesday at 5 p.m. And then after that, sometimes we pop over to TikTok from there, depending on what's going on.
Man, that is awesome. Amber, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for spending some time with us. It's always a pleasure to have you. We've had you on here before. You have a brand new album coming out. You have Ghost Rock that just came out. You have a Thanksgiving song coming out, a Christmas song coming out. All the holidays, she's hitting it all. Make sure you guys check her out. Amber Crowley all over everything, man. Just Google Amber Crowley. You're going to find her TikTok. You're going to find her on Instagram. You're going to find her on Facebook. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you follow her. To all of her moderators, thank you guys so much for encouraging Amber, for helping her out, for supporting her, for watching those comments. Listen, man, there's times that we are like NASCAR drivers, and we can do very little without the people behind us to make sure that the vehicle is healthy and moving forward. Amber can only do so much on TikTok while she's playing. So to those moderators, thank you so much. She is so appreciative of you. She said it 1,000 times. To everybody here tonight, thank you guys. A lot of you here I've known for years. Mama Floyd's in the house. She's known me longer than anybody. And she's always been here, always a huge support. With her is Papa Floyd. He's probably right next to her right now. What's up, Papa Floyd? So really appreciate all of your support, guys. Make sure you check out Amber Crowley. Dana Ricker was just on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he is in the feed as well. Dana Ricker actually said he would love if me, you, and him could play a song as a tribute to Lisa Baker one day, since her impact on us was very, very similar. She was part of our musical family, and I think we would all be down to do that. So before we get going, Amber, do you have anything else that you wanted to share with the people?
Just thank you to everybody. I couldn't do it without you guys, and thank you for the opportunity, Billy, to talk about my album and talk about the music and share the music. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. And Amber, if you don't mind hanging on for just a moment, right after we wrap the show, we can do a little post show. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what you got coming up. I do have a question about TikTok that we'll handle after this, because I love to learn. But thank you guys very much. Amber, thank you so much for joining us. Stay out of trouble. Hang out in the green room. Try not to eat all the M&Ms. I get it. I understand. They're delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, again, another round of applause for the amazing Amber Crowley, the physician, musician. What else is it there, Amber? What else? What other shins are you?
Musician, physician, mother, grandmother. Take care.
I love it. All the roles. Goodbye, everybody. Everybody say bye to Amber. Bye, Amber. You have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. That was Amber Crowley, an incredible person, a singer, songwriter, musician, physician, and an all-around amazing spirit in this beautiful world that we have. Make sure you follow her on all of the social media that you can find. She streams 3, 4, 5, 6, who knows, times a week. She's hitting Facebook, she's hitting TikTok, and she's making it happen. She's building an incredible following on TikTok, and you'll see how positive it is. Go ahead and become a part of that. It's super, super simple. TikTok is free to join, and you get to see her perform live. You can even put in requests for songs that you want to hear. Be a part of that community. You'll meet other people in that community that are absolutely awesome. You'll start to build friendships and family relationships with people all over the world. That's one of the cool things about social media. It brings us all together. So you guys have a really good night. Stay out of trouble. Enjoy your evening. We will see you Wednesday night at 7:05 at Castledor Studios. The great Zach Cabral will be joining me for a couple jams, which I'm really excited for. And then this Friday, we have Matthew Pfeiffer. That's right. Chef Matt is going to be in the kitchen. We're going to be rocking some tunes on Friday night, and I might actually talk to Amber to see if she'll let me play a little Ghost Rock on Friday night as well and present that video, see if we can get a couple more people to listen to that one. Check it out. Join the stream, and make sure you follow her on her social media. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Billy Floyd. That is Frank. We're your KitchenKillaz, classified as a touring acoustic duo, crash your kitchens around the country. Do it every Friday. We do it. This is your move, Frank. No? You want me to say it? I'll say it. We do it for free. You guys have a good night. Stay out of trouble. I'll talk to you soon.